All right. Well, you know what we do? We go into prayer. So join me. Heavenly Father, we take the time here to thank you for this beautiful day, this day that we're able to come together to talk, to express ourselves, and to listen to your Spirit speak through us. So be with us now. In the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, today is June 29th, and welcome to Hill Country Connect, where we do real connections and true Texas talk. We're bringing a very important subject today. It's called flock cameras. We're going to be talking about that. And today, like we always do, we have Mr. Anibal here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And we have Mr. Sid here.
Hello, children.
Very good. Well, very happy to be here. We've come a long way. We're 3 months into this beautiful project, and we're going to be launching next month.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited. So let's go ahead and bring something good to our audience that's listening. Let's educate them on flock cameras. So
I'm going to get an education too. I don't know jack
Okay.
about this stuff.
All right. Well,
You don't know what the flood camera is?
I don't know what the flock
what
these
the
cameras.
flock camera? Yeah. So like schools, sometimes you're given a task for the idea of understanding a little bit better. So we've taken that task on, so our viewer audience can go ahead and reach a conclusion after we're done. So we've compiled this list of questions, and I'll go ahead and go first. And the idea here is to go ahead and get the basic understanding of what a flock camera is. So I'm going to depend on you guys to answer the questions. So what are flock safety cameras, and how do they work with AI automation? What have you heard, and what do you know? I'll let you go first, anybody.
My understanding is that it's a private business, and it's called Flock Safety, and it's been pitching to different cities. Hey, we can help with the criminal rate, so you can catch bad guys when there is an incident and somebody's looking for a specific vehicle or a specific person. They can actually have something that is called like a hot alert, or like a real time alert, where they can officers can input the description of a vehicle or even the license plate, and they get feedback or where the vehicle is being placed in.
Mm-hmm.
All that is is being used. The AI is being used to not only read the license plates, but to do like a fingerprint of your car. So if you have a MAGA sticker on your bumper, it's gonna know that that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you block your license plate, if you have a roof rack or whatever. So the same with persons, with people, pedestrians, and people in persons riding bikes and motorcycles.
So it recognizes little distinctions of your vehicle and can kind of, even if it doesn't have your plate.
My understanding is it does that and it categorizes it. So you are going to be a number in a database, and whenever you drive again through the same area, it's going to recognize that it's you, and it's going to put you on that ID that it is given to you.
Okay.
That's my understanding. I mean, that's as far as I know. Well,
Sid, you said that you had limited knowledge on the matter, but do you want to share anything regarding that?
I just did like a real quick chat GPT grok,
So
hey, what should I know kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean it, I don't know what the biases are there necessarily, but apparently, one of the things it said is that law enforcement really likes them. And I haven't really put a whole lot of thought to it, but it's sort of like product placement too. Like if you watch any cop show or investigation show or fiction, obviously not like true crime or anything. They use stuff like this. They're like doing facial recognition or whatever, searching for stuff on cameras in a city, and then they're over here or whatever. So it's if that's actual fiction, but it's starting to become more prevalent, like an actual thing, or it's like a product that they're putting in these shows to make everybody more comfortable with using them. Of course, they're going to be used in a favorable light to catch bad guys and do all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it. It seems it's presented to be very reasonable. I suppose. I guess. But just looking at the numbers, for what, because I asked the question based on San Antonio and the Hill Country, just to kind of give our local area, and I mean, they're getting, based on the little search I did, they're getting 750,000 distinctive snapshots in a given 30 days. And so, I mean, we've got what are we at in population in San Antonio? We're over 2 million now, right?
Yes.
Easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they're getting close to 1 million distinctive captures in a 30-day period. So, I mean, and there's not like 1 million of these cameras either, based on what I was able to gather. But they're becoming more popular, and it is spreading. I mean, like, not just in the city center area, but in the rural counties and smaller cities, they're starting to use these as well. So, and quite frankly, if they had them, I'm not sure if they would tell us anyway. I mean,
Well, keep in mind they run out of solar power and satellite cellular, so you don't need to have any source of Wi-Fi. You don't need to have any source of power, nothing like that to have them. So.
Okay.
I heard 10,000 was the number in Texas. 10,000
in Texas, but I mean, spread out over the course of all of Texas. I mean, we got some large cities, so I mean, I think in San Antonio, I think what I read was like 30 or so in San Antonio.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not that many.
Yeah, in Houston, they passed the act for removing the ones that they put on. So
In Houston.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them having them more on like toll roads and stuff like that. But I think toll roads have their own closed video system for tracking stuff anyway. So, who knows?
So to summarize, right? It's a camera system that uses AI to track the license plates, the license plate reader, basically. And what happens is it's gone above and beyond to actually get like a descriptor, because of having the AI capability. You can go ahead and say red truck with ladder.
Yeah. Based on what I read, it's not just the license plate anymore. It's distinctive markings, damage on the vehicle.
Yes.
Different things like that. So it's sort of like what Annabelle was saying. It can take like a fingerprint of your vehicle.
Yes.
Not just your license plate. One thing that it did say though was that it didn't have the capability of any facial recognition at this time.
Gotcha.
It's the quality of the cameras, because for example, there is an instance when somebody got pulled over and the person got pulled out of his car on the highway, I think, and he almost got shot because the camera say to the police officer the license plate, and it misread as 742.
Oh,
so that's when I think
Right.
it's going to be an issue.
So
for
the
population.
errors with it. So Sid, bring us to the next question, which basically
okay.
starts to get in deeper.
Sure. So, what dangers and invasion of privacy risks can flock cameras behold using AI technology to create vehicle and driver/pedestrian profiles instead of just implementing a license plate reader?
Well, I can tell you this. I agree. Law enforcement does have a unique opportunity to be able to use it as a tool, right? To identify crimes that have taken place. But the word starts to get into the invasion of privacy, right? The Constitution gives us that right. And the way I've been reading this, it's because you're on the road. You're pretty much, Supreme Court has ruled that, hey, you have really no
you're in a public space.
You're in a public space, correct?
You don't have any expectations of privacy.
No expectation of privacy. So when you are on the road, it has the states are working actively right now to adopt standards that or adopt laws. For example, right now you're going down the highway, you we never did touch base on what this might look like. Basically, it's a camera in a square box, and it's usually located in an intersection or a heavily trafficked area, and it's there to go ahead and pick up your who's going through,
Right.
and it's picking everybody up. And right now, that type of system exists in state police vehicles where they will go ahead if they're sitting on the side of the road. The system does it so fast. It's like it'll read all the license plates that are going in front of the police vehicle, and if for some reason the vehicle comes back as stolen or something, boom, you're there. So usually when you see a state trooper parked on the side of the road, they're not necessarily running radar. They have the camera there, and they're actually looking for suspicious vehicles that have that perhaps are wanted. They're looking for active license plates, or vehicles that have that show that there is something fishy there, right? So basically, the question is what are the dangers, right? And again, this information that is captured by these cameras is kept on file for 30 days, right?
In Amazon Web Services, it's a database subsidized by Amazon.
Really? So the capabilities are pretty tremendous as it relates to being able to keep that information for large periods of time. So there's a lot of groups who dedicate their time to keeping the government in check, and this is a big overreach, they say, because of the amount of information that's captured and kept for so long, and also there's very weak oversight as it relates to how they're used.
Right.
They've been abused in the past. And I'll give you an example. We're all human beings, right? The police department starts to go ahead and follow. There's been reports of vehicles being tracked that are leaving the state. And perhaps they're leaving the state because they're going out to get an abortion. The situation where police officers have used it to go ahead and track individuals for political
more personal reasons.
Reasons. Yeah. Everything from, hey, this guy's going to a gun show, or this group is going to a gun show. All right. Or things like, hey, I need to follow my ex, or what's my wife up to, or going after the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, right? So, and I remember I was in law enforcement. I've shared this with you guys before. And I remember, if you worked the desk, you had the capability of running people's license plates. This comes back to so-and-so from this address, and there's so much information. And the thing is they have carte blanche right now. Carte blanche. If a local town adopts this equipment, this surveillance equipment, they or municipality, a city, you're giving this great authority to the law enforcement agency, and they can, there's no oversight, no laws that necessarily require police agencies to adhere to, you run the risk of abuse.
Well, any type of power always runs some type of risk of abuse. So.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
I think it's pretty dangerous that you mix the efficiency of an AI system with the unstable emotional state of the human being. Yeah, and I think that combination is what makes it dangerous.
Yes.
I think we'll be better off if it's 100% controlled by AI, and there is no access allowed for any officer or nothing like that.
Yeah.
They can just talk to an AI agent. Hey, there is a vehicle with this description, possible license plate, possible suspect, and AI does this work. Because I was also reading these officers, you have to put a case number in order to get any type of feedback, and they were doing whatever. They were just putting whatever word. Yeah, and it will give them access. And there were about 1 million officers from other states looking into other counties that were outside of their jurisdiction.
Exactly. And that's another thing too, that whenever you start doing things like that, you need to have a warrant to be able to go
Exactly.
ahead and I get a call from Michigan and they say, hey, we're looking into this individual. Your first thing is like, well, tell me more, right? Do you
Yeah.
have a warrant? Do you have a case number? Because I need to enter it here. No, we're just fishing.
Yeah.
So that's what becomes a total violation of privacy
Yeah.
of your rights. And I see them whenever I go to the valley, go down to Mexico. Right.
Well, for the pictures that I found online, they look exactly the same as the ones that I seen on the parking lot of Lowe's.
Look at that.
They have them, and the funny thing is, they're not close to the store. They're like on the side facing the street.
Mm.
And this is at the Ram. This is on the one on Calhoun 410 in San Antonio. So when I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen those cameras, a lot of them, and that's exactly where I seen.
Well, before we jump into your question here, Aniva, let me ask this: is this new? Is this technology new?
I don't think it's new. The AI, this behind of it, is more advanced. I think that system is what is giving a little step up to what it was before. I think this company started in 2017 or somewhere in there. So it's almost 10 years old.
So it's how the AI makes it, the gathering of the information more efficient and the recognition that it allows to do a quicker search.
Yeah, because for instance, I mean, I don't know for sure. We don't know exactly what happens in China, right? But there is some stuff that I read that they have a CCTV for the streets in the city, but it's not ruled by AI. It's actual agents. If they get a report of a certain description of a vehicle, there is a person looking through the screen, trying to find the vehicle. It's not AI automatically. Here is 4 options that you have. And it could be the actual suspect, or it could be a family. They're just going for a joyride.
Yeah.
I recall the Europe and putting these cameras like Italy, France, and I remember it being talked about a while back. And so I asked ChatGPT if it had a positive effect. I mean, that we're able to go ahead and reduce crime because of that. And the answer obviously was yes, tremendous. It was a tremendous positive impact. And it cited the, they wanted to go protect a certain area of the city. It would identify suspicious vehicles. So they would stop them before they got to an area perhaps where they could cause damage or, I don't know, suicide bomb or whatever.
Be a problem.
Yeah. So they have been around for quite some time, but, as Aníbal mentioned, it's gotten that super, I guess.
Superpower almost.
The superpower,
Yeah,
right?
it's
for lack of better words, a superpower where AI is right now, and which is such a fast-moving situation that we're faced with AI, and that's why we're bringing the flock issue to light here. Go ahead and go with your question.
Yeah, so in the period of only 5 years, over 100,000 flood cameras have been institutionalized around the United States alone, with hardly anyone even know what they are. So, and I add into this, those 100,000 cameras around the nation captures about 21 billion plates per month. So 21 billion plates per month. I mean, and that's plates. I don't know if that's vehicles or not.
Right.
But I think, and I've seen some city county meetings where this is putting out for vote, and more people are showing up, and they're saying that they're not in favor.
That we don't want them.
It's a constitutional violation, and it's mainly the privacy. And I don't know exactly about other systems, but what I do know is, like I say, Amazon Web Services is the one that stores all the video, and that's where all the data goes to. But keep in mind, Ring cameras also do the same thing.
Yes.
And Ring cameras, they've been hacked multiple times where we heard stories about a family being home and suddenly somebody's talking to them through the camera and looking at them inside their homes.
Yeah.
So that's where it's also, I mean, to me, is concern. And you were saying that these cameras were supposed to be on highways and intersections. But like I just say, I mean, I was talking about Lowe's, but I know for sure because of what I heard that they can put them near any government buildings. Like it could be a post office, it could be a school, and they could be around a neighborhood. That's the thing.
That is the worst part because, as we know, homeowners associations, what we know as HOAs, they can be very intrusive. We've all seen the videos of the HOA representative telling someone, knocking on their door and saying they have to go ahead and do something in regards to their property, something usually silly or stupid. So now HOAs are one of the biggest users of flat cameras. Did you know that?
Really?
In Texas.
I didn't know that.
Yes, one of the biggest users, second to law enforcement. Yeah, so imagine that. So the question is, what's your personal opinion about that? I think it's horrible. I think it's the idea that you're empowering HOA to be able to go ahead in your own neighborhood, in your own home.
Well, you have gated communities, right? And they usually have cameras on those gates, and they're reading the plates coming in and out of those gates. But I don't know if that's flock. I don't know if it's just some private security or if it's the HOA or whatever. But I mean,
the idea that there again the possible abuse of power that can take place. We know from our personal experience in our neighborhood, the HOA has certainly overstepped their boundaries, and they continue to do so. And I can imagine if they had this tool available to them, what they would do with it.
What they're gonna have. But that's the thing. Like, if it comes from, hey, I have the proof that you broke that you didn't follow a guideline to where they can even set you up because they know your habits. They know how fast you drive every morning and what time you go to work.
Yes.
They know everything related to your routine for 30 days. And not only that, like, it's not that after the 30 days it gets deleted. The AI will actually create your profile based on those 30 days of buffer. So it's not like disappears. It's just the short memory time.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I don't like living in a police state. I don't like to be surveilled, and somebody might ask the question, well, you don't do anything wrong. Why concern yourself? It's like, that's not the point, The point is it's like having cameras at the workplace. It's just awkward. It's uncomfortable. It's like, Big Brother's watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there has been cases where people are manifesting or they're doing protesting. I'm sorry, they're protesters. They're exercising their freedom of speech, and because somebody's not supporting that, they actually get arrested, and the proof to court is the flock camera footage. Okay, ask flock system, flock safety, find me this person. It's they're setting people up because instead of detaining somebody at a specific time, they're following. And this is somebody that I was listening to, that it was a protester, until this person committed like a silly crime or something like that, where he went to a store and something happened that it became like a person
of interest or something.
The clerk called the cops because there was a disturbance, and they show up, and this person happened to be there, and they were seeing this person in different protests. They were assuming that person was involved, and that's how this person got arrested, and nothing to do with the reason why the clerk called the police, but because he had a history of protesting.
He got arrested, but what came of it? I mean, did he get charged? Was he released?
Well, that's the thing. Now it's not you're guilty to proven. I mean, you're innocent to proven guilty. He was right out the back guilty, and he had to actually. I don't know if he sued or what he did, but he came out and said, like, "Hey, I had nothing to do with that, and they released me, but I spent so many days in jail because
exactly."
Of that." So.
So the next set of questions is digging into the facts. So Aníbal, you have the first round here.
What are the potential dangers of security information and data from these cameras uh, are breached and misused?
If somebody wants to go ahead and get if I become a target, right, and for some reason, someone, whether it's uh, someone has it in for me, or perhaps there is uh, a need to know, they can just go to this and they can go ahead and get my driving pattern for the last 30 days.
I mean, that's not the only way they could get your driving pattern, but
What other way can they do it?
they can hack your GPS in your car,
Okay.
hack your GPS on your phone.
But how much easier is it to go ahead?
I don't know. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, but how much easier it is to breach in those systems?
right.
It'll be harder for somebody who is not inside of the manufacturer or the server of the car or the phone. I think it'll be a lot harder for those people than actually breach into the flock safety database, because I was reading too that there is not a lot of security involved in there.
Yeah. So basically, the idea here, we're a data society now, right? It's all about knowing your personal information. How much of it do you have? It's just another batch of data that can be used for purposes that no judge has says, yes, go ahead and look into it. And remember, we said that going back to, why are we here, right? Why? It's because we feel that slowly, if not rapidly now, our rights are being eroded. This would be another one.
I mean, I can see my problem with this is I see the argument on both sides, and I'm kind of torn because to me, it comes down to the intent of the person using the tool. And I know that the power of having that information, could be enticing for somebody who has wrong intentions. But at the end of the day, it's just like any other tool, and it depends on the person using it as to whether or not they use it for something negative or positive. And because one of the arguments,
Positive would be solving a crime.
correct. Something's happened. You've got to prove that this individual was in the area or was, you can track them, you can see, you can know what was going on, and then you can prove the case, and they actually are held accountable. Positively.
Something negative would be that you're driving from Bernie to Blanco, and that trip is a 45-minute trip, but you got here in 32 minutes. Okay, because you got here in 32 minutes, tomorrow you're going to get a ticket in your mail for a fine because the system says there's no way you got from Bernie to Blanco, right? Because 2 cameras caught you, right? The one that saw you leaving Bernie and the one that got you here in Blanco. And that's really what happened in Europe. This is what happens in France and in Italy. They will go ahead and track you, and that's the way you get a fine because you were speeding. Never mind, you had to hurry up and get over here because you needed to go to the bathroom. Never mind, you had to cut over here because you needed to take a medicine.
Or they caught me on camera stopping and peeing on the side of the road.
Right?
Or whatever.
Exactly. So again, invasion of privacy. The question is how this data how can it be breached and not necessarily misused, because obviously that's the way that that governments are using it overseas right now. Remember, it's been implemented since the 70s overseas. So for them to be this advanced now, but there's also the issue of misuse, right? You get the police departments, and in some cases, it's been the whole police departments, particularly in California, where they've been mandated not to go ahead to protect the immigrant community from ICE. And there's police departments that have taken it upon themselves to say, hey, you know what? We're going to use this instrument to go ahead and target what we feel may be people who are here undocumented.
Well, so you're saying that they could actually say, hey, we we're gonna require a type of alert when an individual goes through this road with a darker tone of skin.
Yeah. Profiling, baby. I mean, they've gone as far as being able to go ahead and hear you and I talking in the car. That's how where it's going. They already has the capability to do that.
Hmm.
Right. So again, because you're in a public road, there is no expectation of privacy, right now. But that's why there's laws that are being proposed to help with that. Austin, I like to go ahead and point that out. A liberal city, right, that we know of, totally said, nope, take them out. We don't want them here. Get rid of them. So what does DPS do? There's certain roads that DPS, I guess, are considered state roads that lead or part in the city.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they have the cameras, but they're not allowed to put them anywhere else.
Why do you think that Austin said no to that?
I have no idea, other than invasion of privacy, perhaps. I can't point to it directly, but I believe it's invasion of privacy.
Well, and keep in mind that there is actually cases of DPS suing Flock Security because they say we don't want the cameras. The city voted no, and they don't remove them. So is even the own government not able to enforce their laws, and they have to manually cut them.
That's what I heard. That's what
Yeah.
they did. They actually had to go and unplug them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can unplug them because they're
Certainly.
but they just saw the
pole.
pole and
Yeah. I've seen incidents of that taking place right now because people, it's become a harder topic the more that this has developed. So the next question, again, digging into the facts. An ongoing civil rights case in Los Angeles, California claims that flock cameras have directly allowed ICE and local police departments to illegally access their database. What's your opinion on the case and how it claims flock established a national warrantless surveillance? And I think that's the key, is national warrantless surveillance. So we understand the way law enforcement works, and is that especially if you have the investigative side, right? Somebody comes in and they file a complaint, right? You take in the complaint and then you do an investigation. When you have an investigation, then you present the facts to the DA. DA says, I see a crime was committed. They go to the judge and the judge says, yes, it's possible that a crime was committed, or you have some information that says a crime was committed. So then they issue a warrant, whether they want to go ahead and search a vehicle, search a house, or follow someone.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, you're not allowed to.
Right.
You're violating rights. And what Flock, the system, it does have some safety mechanisms in place for that purpose, where you have to put a case number, and a case number is an active investigation.
Right.
So you don't have that, but yet you're tracking these people. You're fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You're fishing. All right. You see a car go to the valley twice this past week. That's a red flag. It's a brown guy driving it. That's a second red flag. It's a Chevy Monte Carlo. That's a third one. Get him. So, okay. So, any other thoughts on that? I kind of answered my question, but if you guys want to chime in on that, and basically talking about the legalities of it, right?
Well, I mean, and the concern that they're creating a national warrantless surveillance, I mean, I'm sure that their argument is going to be, look, we're just gathering information. We're not storing it for a huge amount of time. But if something happens, if you don't gather it, then you don't have it to use, right? So then you lost the opportunity. So, if somebody's using it incorrectly, they have a wrong intention or whatever. I mean, yeah, I get that, but if it gets to the point to where AI is just issuing tickets left and right because it's determining what's a crime instead of it going through the correct judicial process, yeah, I could see that being a problem. But, their argument's going to be, look, we're just gathering information. We're not.
As far as I know, it's not AI the one issuing the tickets, but it's the officers, the human beings doing the search for whatever they think or whatever the situation is. Like they're looking for a specific vehicle, like I say, whatever. And AI is given the results, and the assumption of the officer is AI is 100% right. So they're enforcing what is presented by AI, even though after investigation they determine, well, the AI was not right because the camera was not focusing right, whatever.
Well, I mean, I think if they get a number of cases that end up getting thrown out because once they do some actual investigation, they can see that the AI mispredicted or misdetermined that something was that what it said it was. I mean, that's not going to go well for law enforcement. They're not going to like that. They're going to want something to be fixed because they don't want to be running around chasing their tails, grabbing people up, and then it gets, it's a case that goes nowhere and they've wasted all their time doing that.
My read on it was that it wasn't AI that was the culprit. It's the potential for abuse by the police officers.
No, I see that point. What I'm saying is both are concerns. Yeah. I mean, both are concerns. Absolutely, you're going to have somebody that uses a tool incorrectly for their own personal agenda, correct, intention, or abuse or whatever. But if the AI that's also serving the officers is screwing up too, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we end up seeing this flare up and go away because there's just too many issues with it across the board. It doesn't end up serving the greater good in any capacity.
Well, I just, again, this is the more and more there's places in Texas that are no longer that, you drive 7 hours to the desert. Mm-hmm. On the way to the desert, you pick up a flock camera. You get to the desert, and there's flock cameras there. So, I mean, at what point do we go ahead and say, oh, you're free of technology. Let's go ahead and go camping. Let's go mountain climbing, and free from these flock cameras. Mm-hmm. For what purpose? Well, the purpose is that hey, sometimes we need a break from all this and to be able to get away, right? Yeah. But I think where I'm having the most issue with flock cameras is the idea of a surveillance state, of a police state, and how that psychologically affects you. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, I guess because of July 4th coming up, dude. You go out to a trip to San Antonio, you come back, maybe 20 cops, mm-hmm, and each one of them's got somebody pulled over. Yeah. Right.
Well, it's end of the month too, so they're trying to make their quotas right now.
Right. So let's give them another tool, so they can go ahead and
so I mean,
meet their quota a little bit better, a little faster, right?
Yeah.
So you have the next question.
Okay. So the Fourth Amendment states that all United States citizens are protected from unreasonable search and seizure. Do you think that the flock cameras go past that boundary?
I would say yes. And your question should be how, right? So how do they? All right. Well, the what is in knowing your business.
Well, right? You're in public space though.
Yeah.
So you've already waived your right to privacy because you're in public space.
Well, according to the Supreme Court, yes, public space. But because there are no state laws that say, hey, if you're going to go ahead and use flock cameras in the state of Texas, you must adhere to these rules.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that makes sense.
And that's what hasn't happened yet. All right. So you have a corporation who goes to a local government and says, hey, here are cameras. It's going to improve your business, mm-hmm, of law enforcement. Sure. You're going to be able to solve crimes. And how many kids have been missing forever? I'm wondering if flock cameras were used, right? Like, say, for example, you hear it all the time, unfortunately, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. Kids missing, right? How many flock cameras do we have in that area where that kid was missing, right? And right now we have 30 days of data, 30 days stored data. let's say they would bring it down to 2. All right. If you're a parent, you're not going to wait 24 hours to report your kid missing. I don't care if it's a teenager or not. Right. You're going to go to the police department. You're going to say, crime, help. Right. And if I'm in law enforcement, I'm going to say, okay, well, when did you last see him? I saw him here. What cameras do we have in that area?
Yeah.
And are we going to go ahead and cordon that area off? What could be possible exits if that's the case? Do we have flock cameras there? I can definitely see that used. In my research, I did not see anything like that stuck out that says, oh, they're using it. It was more of like the suspicious things. It's just suspicious, So they're looking for a crime that could have been committed.
No, I mean,
or it could be a crime, so let's sniff it out. So that's your invasion of privacy right there, buddy.
yeah, it's how they're used.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So instead of like using it, so yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and also there is, like you say, there is no significance. There is when I was reading about it, there is no like cases from kids being found, teenagers missing and being found thanks to the cameras. Although it's one of the approach the flock security has to the local law enforcement. It's like this is going to help with the kidnapping rates to drop them, and also to found any missing kids or any people in general. And there's no data that actually backs that up. There's no cases where, hey, we've been finding all this amount of people and so forth.
That you know of right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's available for us to go ahead and take. And
Well, I mean,
part of the discussion.
if they had a PR department that knew what they were doing, they'd probably put some of those cases out so they could prove the beneficiary that that is beneficial for that. I mean, I think that would be something that people would get behind, right?
Oh, heck yeah, absolutely. And again, I would say, hey, that's certainly something. I mean, who doesn't want a kid to be saved?
Can I put the question in between those two?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what makes it different from me going into the weather camera and staring at it the whole day, looking at the people in there? And
The weather camera?
yeah, you know how on the freeways you can see there's
Like a beach camera. Or,
yeah. Like on an intersection, there is a bunch of them along I-10
Yeah.
that anybody can log in. They can just go onto a website, and I can be there all day.
Yeah.
I can do my notes. I can see like, oh, this 18-wheeler. Like, what's the difference from doing that than these flock cameras?
It's the intent. It's the intent. That's where I land. It's the intent of the person using the tool. That's what it boils down to.
Well, AI obviously is a big part of it. It's like AI can go ahead and read this whole Bible in sections.
Well, I can connect AI to be watching the screen.
Yes.
So that way you can record and analyze, and that way it creates a database
Yes.
of the cars that go over there.
Yes.
But I agree with Steve. That's the whole point of it, is the intent. Like, are you doing it for safety reasons? Are you
Yes.
doing so? If we already had, and going back to this question came to my mind when you asked me if this is something new.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the weather cameras, those traffic cameras, they've been out there for a long time, and they're accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
So, but the intent and the use of the AI with it is what I think it makes the difference.
I kind of like the idea of back in the day where there was no cameras.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Was there more crime back then? Maybe it was undetected.
Different times,
Right.
different data.
Okay, so let's as we continue down the fact sheets, my question is next. Some flock cameras have microphones installed as well to supposedly listen for human distress on top of the AI sorting algorithms that detects car types, colors, dents, stickers, and even personal routines such as drivers and their daily regimens across all cameras. This is a personal opinion question. What's your personal opinion on that? Again, to me, it's invasion of privacy.
So I've heard that I don't know if this is part of the flock system of cameras, but that they have microphones set up. So like if a gunshot goes off
Yes.
in a given area, those microphones that are in that area can help pinpoint where that shot was actually fired.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
that the
100%
police-
sure, but I heard about Ring doing that. Like if you have a block and there's
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 Ring cameras in there,
Mhm.
and there's a gunshot or somebody yelling help, help, there's some type of trigger that goes to law enforcement. Or
So, I mean, so is the question, I mean, whether or not the microphones are even a more overreach or not, is that kind of the question?
I think
Or-
we're getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. I you know,
If a judge wants to go ahead and if a police department wants to wire someone,
mhm.
okay, to have a conversation with you, to catch that conversation just in case you incriminate yourself or you're telling your buddies, there's a warrant that's needed for that.
Right. And so I think all of this still comes back to the intent, why something is used the way it's used, and is it like what you're saying? Did it go through the proper channels? Is there a case? Is there a warrant issued? Has it gone before the judge? I mean, or is it being misused? Is it being mishandled? Is this, you know?
Let's dive into that. The next set of questions will go ahead and cover ethics, privacy, and what is the future of flock. Right? So with that said, I believe Anibal, you are next on that.
should law enforcement be allowed to track a person's vehicle and personal profile data without a warrant if it could help us solve a crime?
Should they be allowed to?
Should they be allowed to track somebody's vehicle and profile their data without the warrant, and without the warrant, if this is gonna allow or help to solve a crime?
No, I don't think not without a warrant. I mean, that's the proper channel. You got to prove that this person has, within a reasonable doubt, going before a judge. You have to prove the judge, hey, we have enough information to know that something's actually going on here. And that I mean, we have judges for that purpose. Somebody's got to make that decision.
So this is what's going on, just to go ahead and put it point blank. All right. There's a car that leaves here on Fridays. All right. And goes to Mexico.
Mhm.
All right. Comes back on Sunday. All right. And
It's also Monte Carlo.
it's a Monte Carlo. and you know what? Guess what? He did it the last 3 weekends. I don't have any other information. I don't know who it is. I don't know what makes that person suspicious. I just know he went to the Val 3 times.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but this is what's happening. Let me tell you what's happening. Flock will flag that, notify the police department where that vehicle happens to be driving by, and says, hey, I know you guys are into trying to go ahead and solve crimes or get to crimes before they actually happen, or fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You're into fishing. You might want to stop that guy. That car goes 25 miles per hour, all right, in George West, because they don't want to get pulled over because they know George West. And they're driving, okay, and all of a sudden they see the lights and they're stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I ask, well, why'd you stop me? And they're looking. They're trying to see if I'm nervous. They're trying to see if they smell something coming from the car.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They're going to go ahead and check, make sure all my paperwork's in order. And they're going to ask me, hey, would you consent to a search for your car? Why? What did I do?
Yeah, they're gonna have a reason.
But
for
I'm
that.
scared. I'm scared. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Okay.
Okay. And all of a sudden, guess what? They find a joint.
Mm-hmm.
They find a gun.
Yeah.
They find cash. And they're going to say, oh, this dude, right? He's been there 3 times. You know, he's got a little joint. You know, he's got a gun. He's got some cash. We're going to go ahead and take him in.
For what?
Nope. He's got it. Maybe
None of those things. There's nothing wrong with any of those things.
guys have been taken in. They've been taken in.
I mean,
They've been arrested.
people have made mistakes.
Their car has been towed.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of the flock camera. Because of the flock camera.
Yeah. I'm saying this system has issues.
Yes.
It could create problems. So what you're suggesting is that the AI of the flock camera is alerting the police to potential problems
Yes.
that aren't necessarily real problems.
Because of the loophole that says you have no privacy the minute you're
No,
on the
I don't
road.
think that's the loophole. That's not the loophole. The loophole is not the privacy issue. The loophole is that the cops are taking AI at its determination point. So the AI is flawed. Your privacy was gone as soon as you got out on that road.
I think where it comes an issue is like if this happened, like you were saying, in this scenario, right? It happens 3 times a week or whatever. But now you are being followed virtually.
Yes.
Not in real world, but there is dots getting connected to where is this car coming? Oh, it's coming from this address
Yes.
or this street, and
Yes.
that's where I think is the issue too. Because if they find no issue with you, then you've been already followed with no warrant for a month or
Yes.
2 months,
Yes.
and then you've been already targeted based on your habits and your profile. They're profiling to it.
If the AI is doing that, is what you're
Correct.
saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then they just helping law enforcement saying like, hey, AI is giving us this or flock.
But what I'm saying is the AI continues to do that, and the cops go after people like that, and they go through the whole process of an arrest or and days in jail, car towed, all this other kind of stuff, and that case falls apart. It's all false. It goes nowhere. You're detained improperly, whatever. You're going to see people suing the city and suing Flock AI for all kind of mess. And that's not going to help the PR with the cops at all. So I just, if the cops aren't paying attention to the information that they're giving and deciphering whether or not it's actually actionable or not, instead of just going, well, it says I can, so I will.
Well, I think the
That's
loophole.
not smart.
I think the loophole is where they are being told, here's a tool that you can use.
Yes.
They're relying on it. It's not accurate. Hey, you tell me that's a tool that I can use.
Exactly.
How are you going to punish me for the tool that you gave me if it's not accurate?
Well, not only that, but just because you're a police officer doesn't mean that you should be carrying a gun and a badge, as has been witnessed already by chiefs of police who are tracking their ex-wives or
I mean,
ex-girlfriends.
yeah,
right?
I mean, as you said, if it's being used for the wrong intent, then that's a major problem.
Or you have the overly aggressive police officer, which we have. There are overly aggressive police officers, and
Sure.
you'll be like, okay, yeah. And whether it's because of boredom or because they want to go ahead and make rank, or they just shouldn't have a badge and a gun. So yeah, it basically blows it wide open, So
So you may go.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so as a United States citizen abiding by the Constitution, should flock cameras continue to be installed nationwide?
No, absolutely not. No.
Well, that's your opinion,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and as a citizen, you're
Mhm.
entitled to that opinion.
Yes.
Based on the Constitution, it is up to the people to decide whether or not that's something that should happen.
Yeah, and I am the people.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you're not the only one, so it
Exactly.
has to be a consensus.
Well, that's the
And
part
it
that
can-
matters.
And
That's
it
the
can
part
be
that
a
matters.
consensus. It can be a consensus within a given geographical area. You could have an area where you get some people who want to live in a sanctuary city and they want cameras everywhere, and they want AI to rule their life. And if that's what they want to do, they can vote to do that, and they can live there, and everybody else can get out.
But I think that's the issue that they're now voting the government officials. They're just doing it, and they
Of course, the government officials are, because they want control and power.
like you were saying in Austin. I was kind of just going through stuff, and I saw a Hayes County. They made a special meeting for voting if the camera should be removed or not, and everybody 100% of the votes were to remove them.
Well,
Exactly.
good for them.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
them. That's exactly what should happen.
But then the first instance, nobody actually there was no notice that there was
No
going to be
public input.
yeah.
And that's unfortunate because the officials are not abiding by the idea of we the people. Hey, why don't you just find out what people think, and then as a whole, I mean, I think if they actually asked, and not only just asked, but give enough information so that people know what they're giving their opinion on, or a educated consumer situation, right?
Yeah.
Which that's sort of what we're doing here, but
Exactly.
so
We're doing what the government's not doing.
exactly. And so, I mean, and they can say, oh, we're the most transparent or whatever, but it's, it's super convoluted to try to figure anything out anyway. So, but I think that that's a perfect example, what you're talking about in Hayes County, is that, hey, they went before the people. Guess what they said? No dice. So,
Yeah. San Marcos voted to go ahead and remove them as well. We're like, we want them gone.
well, there you go. I mean, obviously there's a trend here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to go ahead and add that there are some proposals in the state that will go ahead and put some legal language into the matter that says, hey, you cannot keep this data, right, for more than 48 hours. You only want to go ahead and keep it 40 hours, and then it's erased, gone, deleted. That way, somebody can come in and, without a warrant and say, I need to know where Sid has been the last 30 days. All right. I want to know where he's driven. I need to go exactly where his truck has ended up in the last 30 days.
Well, I don't know how much you guys think. I mean, I know it's going to be all connected, but we have the flood cameras. Like I say, they are running on the Amazon Web Services.
Yes.
Then, I don't know if you guys remember, and this is where maybe we can go into, we were talking about data centers last time.
Yes.
So how much are we going to rely on big private institutions? For example, Amazon Web Service had an outage like a year or 2 years ago. A bunch of stuff was down. A bunch of Robinhood, a bunch of financial apps and websites that are running out of their service was out. So if you have $100,000 in Robinhood, you were not able to sell any stock. You were not able to withdraw any money. You were not able to access your account for like 3 hours. That will freak me out, because I'm like, what if I cannot log in? What if I log in and my money's gone? And that's where I think.
Again, the issue of privacy, I think it's the biggest thing for me. From my standpoint, is like we it's like going to the bathroom, right? I mean, we need to have a right to privacy. Changing in the locker room,
You take your phone to the bathroom?
right? I stopped. I didn't do it today.
So, I mean, look, there's always going to be new things that are coming down the pipe that are going to have to be addressed, new technologies. I mean, I think the question to consider is, are we already past the point? Are we already too far gone with the issue of privacy? Does anybody really think that they have a great level of privacy anymore? I don't think so.
I think some people do, but they don't realize that they're not. Like people that you see all the time. We have what is it, the civil auditors that they go around and they just film it out on the street waiting for somebody to get triggered and saying like, hey, I don't consent that you recorded me.
Well, and that's another argument. You're sitting here going, hey, this private company shouldn't be able to just stick up cameras and take video. If we tell them they can't be here doing that, are we telling the private citizen that he can't walk around and video whatever he wants to in public?
Yeah.
Well, it's not part of a big data collection,
Right.
right?
Right.
This raises an important piece. The Texas, it's called the Texas Public Information Act. Do you know that you can go ahead and submit a FOIA request? Basically, it's a Freedom of Information, but as it relates to the state of Texas, you can submit it, and they have 10 days to reply. And you can go ahead and tell them, has my vehicle been part of flock? So has it been flagged?
Yeah.
And they have to tell you, if it has or not.
Well, that's good.
And the idea is that if it has, you have to ask, well, why? What did I do? Oh, because you went to Terlingua 3 times this year. All right.
They're gonna have
and you went through
hundreds of Monte Carlos in there.
Yeah, right. So so yeah, no, I think we've done a good job at dissecting this. I think we've presented different viewpoints. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Have we smashed this the way it so what's the future of it? That's the last question. What's the future?
I think that the trend seems to be that people don't want it.
That's what
I mean, that's what
I
it
think
looks
it's-
like.
I think it's gonna go away. I mean, I hope so, but the way I see it, I think it's
Yes.
the problem is probably something else is gonna come after. Well,
Yes.
some variation,
Mhm.
but I
Yeah.
think this flock security, at least the way it's set up, is not gonna be.
So this is what I would look at as a test case,
Okay.
because most of the time when things like this happen, they push in a little bit and they take a step back and they learn from
the push.
okay, why didn't this take root? Why didn't they let us take this control over? And they're going to push back at some point with something else.
Yes.
It's the nature.
It's a matter of time. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
As always. Thank you for our listening audience for taking the time to spend it with us. I hope you learned something today. Sid, you know what to do.
Okay. You don't battle alone. Love every day. Live every day. Laugh every day. Cry every day. And even if it costs you everything, live free.
Live free.
That's right.
Amen. Thank you. All right.
I'm not sure if I got that right.
No, I think you
I
got it right.
Yeah.
Try it again.
It was a nice little